Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing this Ram 3500 Limited. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a 6.7 liter turbo diesel inline six known as the Cummins. This is the high output Cummins. So it goes through a 6-speed automatic known as the Aisin. Power outputs with this are 420 horsepower and then 1,075 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the scoop there in the center. Is it functional? No. But does it look cool? Yes. And then you got 3500 here on the side as well. Down below, I love how the headlights are darkened. I think those look super sharp. You guys can see the grill's all blacked out, which is another cool touch. We've got fog lights here on either side as well as tow hooks and parking sensors. And putting it all together with a blacked out grill and everything, this has such a cool look. Around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 285/60/20 in the front and over in the rear. You guys can see the wheels are completely blacked out as part of this package as well. And then here's a quick look at the fender flare here, body painted. You guys can see the badges all blacked out. And then you have the new style of trailer mirrors. And then notice the door handles are actually body painted. Now you guys can see we've got leaf springs here in the back. That's one of the big differentiating factors between a 2500 and this 3500. And here's our full side view. This is where you guys can see this is the long bed. We've got an 8-foot box with this truck. So here's a quick look at the key fob. You guys can see we've got our unlock function, our lock function, the drop down for the tailgate, remote start as well, and we got the Limited logo there in the back. So this one has the 5th wheel prep in the back. You guys can see we also have the outlet back here, some LED bed light action on top of that. But yeah, nice that it's all protected from the factory, and man, that is so much bed space. I love it. And when you're all done, just lift that up. You guys can see you've got the Ram logo there, Limited 4x4 there, and then look at the taillights here, how it's darker there in the center. And then we've got parking sensors here at the bottom as well. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the looks of this Limited long bed, but I like the night edition. It looks cool. Ooh. Now taking a look at the door panel, you guys can see here with the leather trim you get with the Limited, and then look at the wood trim as well, and then the embroidery on top of that. And this continues on to the seats. You can see perforated all down the center portion. We also have some under-seat storage, and there's even some more right here as well, which is definitely a nice thing. And then you got a flat loading floor in front with the little ice buckets. Now legroom back here is actually really good. We've got a little storage pocket, more embroidery. Then you guys can see some cup holders with the wood trim. We've got the vents here in the center, a bunch of USBs, heated seats, and then we've got the outlet on top of that. And then header back here is good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see the leather trim here with the wood trim, and look at the embroidery that goes across all of our window controls. Front two are automatic. You've got your power folding mirror function, and then we've got a bunch of things for the mirror. So this is for the convex mirror. That is to extend the mirrors out. Those are for the mirror lights, memory seat function, and then there's a quick look at the mirrors. They also have blind spot monitoring. And while we're over here, payload capacity is 3,682 pounds. Here are the seats. You can see perforated all down the center portion. Power adjustments here on the side, and then you guys can see for the cargo outlet, and then we got our light controls here. We've got that for the fog lights and then the cargo light. Pedal adjustment, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see really nice trim all around. You got some wood trim here at the bottom. Radio controls on the back. We also have stuff like our adaptive cruise control, gear limiter, got controls for the center stack as well. Little turn signal / windshield wiper stalk, and then we got our column shifter here with the nice leather stitching. And then here's a quick look at the gauge cluster. You guys can see full digital gauge cluster here. We can go from the digital view to the analog view. I think the analog view looks a little bit better. Kind of said that before, but anyways, we got the navigation screen here as well. Another cool part of the big digital gauge cluster. But let me know your thoughts on this new system. Now in reverse, we do have a 360 camera system, so you got that backup view, and you can see about of a bunch of different angles here with the truck. And you can do auxiliary cams as well, and then I like how you've got this little thing here. That's pretty cool. Look at that. Yeah, they've done a good job with the camera system. Anyways, as for the rest of the infotainment system, it is obviously a tablet here in the center, vertical with the layout. You've got analog controls for the climate on either side, radio controls as well. Shortcut bar here at the bottom. You can see you've got stuff like dual zone climate, heated and cooled seats. And then notice here at the very bottom, we've got this for your parking sensors, tow haul mode, diesel exhaust brake, that's for your alternate trailer height because this one has the rear air suspension, and then trailer brake controls from the factory as well. And then at the top, that's for your lane departure and that's for your stability control. We got our on-the-fly four-wheel drive shift. It does have a 2-speed transfer case. And then you guys can see with the center console, limited if the camera will focus. Ooh, magical. Good storage space, got some USB action. Some little charts there in the back. And then this does slide backwards and forwards. And you can see here, these, they click open. Pretty cool, nice wood trim here on the top. And then we've got our wireless phone charging pad. And then you guys can see some USB action and tons of storage inside. Nice trim here on the dash all over, Harman Kardon sound system as well. You can see that continues here. Limited there with the glove box lid, and then more storage down below. And then we of course have a camera rear view mirror, which is another nice feature. And then power setting rear window. And then this one has a sunroof too. So there's quite a bit of glare, so it's kind of hard to see the window sticker here. But anyways, we got a base price of $79,920 with this truck. But we've got quite a few options. The Night Edition package is like $2,600. Got limited level 1, which is almost $6,000. High output Cummins is $12,595. $107,300 is the total MSRP after all options on this particular truck. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, tube blind spot monitoring, through the rest of the rear, and Cummins away, 2024 Cummins to be exact. Let's get that ventilated seat action going because it's it says it's 130 degrees. I think it's a little bit cooler than that. The truck's just been sitting in the sun, so it thinks it's warmer than it actually is. But I will say right off the bat, obviously tons of torque. 1,075 pound-feet of it, which is great. Yeah, this thing moves. Love the feel. Now being the 3500, it's not going to ride as well as the 2500. 2500 is the coil suspension in the back end, so that kind of helps out the damping a little bit. But, you know, I think this still does a pretty good job. But again, something else to mention is unloaded. But I will say that air suspension in the back end helps out a bit with the ride quality, and the longer bed also helps out because the longer wheelbase seems to ride a little bit better. Man, this GoPro lately it's been havoc. it just doesn't want to stay. It either wants to fall off my head or it wants to basically be crooked. It's weird, but it handles well for a big diesel. So I think that's a big positive as well. So taking a turn here and getting a mini acceleration is what we'll call it. Getting good torque. Yeah, it moves at a very solid pace. I wouldn't call it insanely quick by any means, but you know, it's good. But we'll get our full-blown acceleration here. That's weird. I'm full throttle, by the way. Full throttle. It like bogged down and everything. Yeah, when you're not towing with the high output, it does some weird stuff sometimes, so I'm not trying to knock it too much, but yeah, sometimes it's just like, what are you doing? So yeah, let's get into setting things up here at this Limited. I love the look of the Night Edition package. Limited obviously has the nicer interior. I've mentioned this in other Limited reviews though. It seems like they've changed the dash material. Like, if I was a betting man, I'd be willing to bet that not the less of this is actual leather anymore. That's just my guess. Aside from that, drives well. The high output has its quirks. If you want a better on-road without towing driving experience, the standard output's actually better for that. The high output's all about towing, and you can tell with how it accelerates and everything. And like, I'll do another acceleration here just to kind of show you guys. Like, it's quick, but yeah, sometimes this again, you can tell it's everything with this has been tuned for towing, which again, that's what this truck's all about. So let me know your thoughts on the Limited, and with a long bed, kind of an interesting configuration that I don't see too often. And let me know if you like this high output more, if you like the standard output more.